This was just updated a few seconds ago from Schwab Network. Let's see what they have to say about Tesla, margins, robotaxi, and Musk's key focuses in earnings.
So it's time for the morning trade, and Tesla is a name that most people hold in their portfolio because they hold an index of some sort and they have Tesla in there, and that has been beaten down in a big way. Caroline Woods here with a preview.
Tesla shares are bouncing back today. They're up about 4%, leading the Mag 7 higher. But don't confuse that with expectations that this is going to be a good report, because there is a lot of trepidation ahead of these numbers. I was taking a look at some of the headlines. Wall Street bracing for Tesla earnings pain. It's going to be a messy one. Wall Street anticipates grim earnings from Tesla. Tesla at risk of a throwaway year. So there's certainly some caution heading into these numbers, especially after the Q1 delivery numbers that we got that were very disappointing. Even though analysts had lowered their expectations heading into that number, Tesla delivered about 337,000 vehicles in the first quarter, and that was well below those lowered expectations, also a 13% drop from the year ago period. I will say that the bulls are more focused on Tesla's AI and robotics capabilities. We talk about that quite a bit, but the automotive business still really drives the vast majority of Tesla's financial performance. Now, speaking of which, in terms of top and bottom line estimates, EPS of 44 cents on revenue of $20.98 billion is what Wall Street is looking for. That would be lower than the $21.3 billion reported in the year ago period. But my guess is that people, investors, analysts will be focused less on those numbers and more focus will be on the live company update from Tesla CEO Elon Musk and team. We know that Elon Musk is facing dwindling popularity. There are boycotts and protests, and there is damage to Tesla vehicles and dealerships. There's brand damage. There's a huge hit to Tesla stock. I mentioned the rebound today, but Tesla shares are down about 40% year to date. So what we're looking for, how tariffs could impact prices. Elon Musk had said Tesla won't be unscathed despite the fact that they produce all of their vehicles here in the U.S. Updates on the lower cost Model Y. We saw that Reuters report saying that the lower cost Model Y was supposed to be produced in the first half of this year. It's delayed by months, could be delayed until next year. We want an update on that front. We also want an update on the robotaxi timeline. Is it still on track for that Austin rollout in June? And then, of course, Musk's role at Doge. Analysts really want a more engaged Elon Musk, and bulls like Dan Ives really want him to step away from that Doge role. I was taking a look at his latest note. He says, "We view this as a fork in the road time. If Musk leaves the White House, there will be permanent brand damage, but Tesla will have its most important asset and strategic thinker back as full-time CEO to drive the vision, and the long-term story will not be altered." If Musk chooses to stay with Trump's White House, it could change the future of Tesla, and brand damage will grow. So let's see what he has to say about his involvement with Doge. I will say his latest posts on X have been political, so he's certainly not stepping back, at least today, based on what he's sharing. Tesla shares, though, up more than 4% right now. And if you take a look, though, more than 50% off the highs hit back in December.
All right. And yeah, I mean, he's alienated a big part, half the country, pretty much. And Dan Ives, I'm glad you read that whole note, because that was really interesting. And I also heard about Code Red if he stays with Doge. In the meantime, I was seeing Gene Munster, and you alluded to this, that 2025 maybe largely doesn't matter, and maintains that it could set 2026 as the company's rebound year. We'll see. And over at Roundhill, Dave Mazza saying Musk needs to bring the voltage on the earnings. Everybody's getting so sassy with their things. Musk needs to bring the voltage on this earnings call to get the stock out of stall speed. A lot of puns and tongue-in-cheek, etc. But the point is, this has been beaten down in a big way.
Yeah, and analysts have always been mixed on this name. Obviously, there are the bulls like Gene Munster who are focused on, and really Elon Musk and Gene was tweeting about this or posting about it on X. Elon Musk alluded to really the focus being 2026 the last time they reported results. So we'll see what he has to say in terms of the outlook there as well. I will say Morgan Stanley did reiterate Tesla shares as with an overweight rating heading into this report, which is after the bell today, I should note, saying that Q1 results face the lowest margin expectations in 12 years. But they said that stock reaction will really be dictated by the company's ability to address those margins and likely cash burn, confidence in robo, and a sense of increased attention from their CEO. So more of that kind of engaged CEO. Barclays lowered their price target yesterday, still has a bullish rating on shares, but again, they want a more engaged Elon Musk.
All right, we will see. It's at 2:36 today. We're getting the earnings. They also showcased, as you mentioned, the full self-driving tech capabilities via a post on social media on X. So let's see what he says in the next call. Caroline Woods, thank you. In the meantime, we want to trade this name. Tim Bigham, option strategist at Buy Alerts, taking a look at this name. Clearly a big loser off the highs, loser for 2025. How would you go about an example trade, especially now that we have earnings approaching?
Yeah, absolutely. And this thing has been beaten up so badly and has been kind of vilified so much. I think it's almost looking good from my contrarian standpoint. Certainly that 220 level has held now 3 times, getting a nice bounce today pre-earnings as well. So I'm just kind of using, the expected move range and a slightly bullish post-earnings maybe pop here to position guardedly bullish with a call calendar spread, just going out buying next week's 265 calls, selling this week's 265 calls, able to sell about 125 IV this week, very elevated as always, but especially this week into earnings, and then hedge with a much lower around 90 IV. So nice term structure volage, paying a little bit over $2 for that trade. And I think it's more important really what comes out in that kind of, live press conference, if you will, post earnings than anything else. Earnings will probably be, somewhat abysmal once again here. It's more about, the look forward. What will Musk's role be, I think, is the critical factor here. If he hints that he's stepping away quickly from, the White House and Doge and everything, I think you'll see a relief rally in the stock. And just looking for the stock to go back towards where it was not too long ago, that 20-day moving average around 265 here. So also fits in with the expected market maker kind of move range on earnings of about 8.5%.
Okay, and thank you for that. Look, you don't really have high hopes for those earnings, it seems. I can sense that, that's for sure. We will see what happens here. I mean, the stock is higher today, but the whole market's higher today. How about the big picture? I mean, how do you feel about the market right now, whether it's the Mag 7 or the entire, I was looking, the S&P 500 worst month since 2022.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, the Mag 7's recently turned into the Drag 7, right, as they've been the big underperformers. And there's no more $3 trillion market cap stocks out there. Not too long ago, we had 3 of them as well. So I think we'll continue to just kind of chop around in this trading range, to use big round numbers. 5,000 to the downside on the S&P 500, 5,500 still looking like some serious overhead resistance. So you'll still see intraday volatility, but that I think will come in as well as we get through earnings and into more of kind of,
That's pretty much it for Tesla. Let's go ahead and take a look at Tesla's chart right now. We hit a high of 242.79 so far. Current price here is at 241, up about 6% today. And again, today is April 22nd, 2025, with Tesla earnings in here in the post-market. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out to the daily chart and just share with you that the 200-day moving average is at 291. Keep in mind that is going to be retested here, in my personal opinion, going into post-earnings. In the upcoming weeks, I would definitely keep an eye out for an upside move here for Tesla stock, especially towards the 200-day moving average. I think while we are below 250, that this is a really good buying opportunity. Personally, while we're below 250, I personally would be looking to add a bigger position here into Tesla stock. If you want to compare this morning's current price all the way up to the all-time high at 488, that would have been a 113% move to the top side. Still, it's not too late in my personal opinion. I think this is a really good dip opportunity. If you measure this all the way from 250, you could see that this is still going to be a whopping 95% move to the top side. If all you are looking for is the 200-day moving average to be tested, that is still going to be right around a 16.5% move to the top side. It's very possible that Tesla stock could potentially move up towards this level going into post earnings. And again, keep an eye out for that move towards the top side post earnings. No matter what happens personally, I'm still going to reiterate what I'm doing personally. And below 250, I'm adding a bigger position. Below the 200-day moving average, I wouldn't mind adding small positions at a time. If Tesla stock breaks above the 200-day moving average, I would look to start lessening my ads and possibly not even adding any more Tesla stock, especially once we break above 313. I don't think I would like to add any more to my position for Tesla stocks. I'm more comfortable adding into Tesla shares while we are at the peak of its volume, and there's a lot of buying and selling pressure right around this range here between 213 and 272. Most of the volume are coming from here, and that's where I personally would be buying if I'm a long-term investor. Again, I don't want to be buying up here. I prefer to be buying down here below the 200-day moving average. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments and where you would personally be adding into Tesla stock. Do you think right now is a good buying opportunity, or are you waiting for a bigger dip? Thanks for watching, you guys, and as always, we'll see you in the next video. If you don't have a community yet for Tesla stock, feel free to join our Discord. It's free to join. Link down below in the description of the video, okay? We got over 32,000 people and a dedicated chat section for Tesla stock.